Welcome to the Vineet Loya Show. The goal of this podcast is to share the knowledge and wisdom I accumulated from various sources, such as listening to amazing podcasts, or watching creative videos, TV shows, and movies, or reading insightful books, or having meaningful conversation with people in real life. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I did while creating it.
I was watching this Netflix documentary on Michael Jordan called The Last Dance. And if you haven't checked it out, you should. It is one of the beautifully made documentary. I haven't even finished all of it. I just finished half of it so far. And feel that the way they edited and the entire show is fantastic. They had this time jumps from from 85 to 98 and in between, and just showing us the history of Michael Jordan and some of the other players during that time. And just by watching it, I became a fan of basketball. I mean, to be honest, I don't watch a lot of sports to begin with, let alone basketball. And I don't think that I'm going to watch basketball religiously going forward either. But just looking at the games and how Michael Jordan kind of became from a rookie to a greatest player to a legend, the transition itself is eye opening. Personally, I feel that there are so many lessons to be learned from this documentary alone. And just looking at Michael Jordan, I can see uh, some of the attributes which I want to develop in my life. And I bet like there are a lot of people who were influenced by him while growing up, back in 90s, and for good reason. Few of the things which I noticed during the documentary is Michael Jordan's self-belief. He has this innate belief within himself, and that is very, very contagious because people around him started believing in themselves as well. And that's the best feeling to have, the self belief that you know what you're going to do, you will do it, and you will get the result exactly as you predicted. And there were like a lot of conversations within the documentary where Michael Jordan walk up to the people and just tell them like, yeah, I'm gonna win this game, and he rocked the entire game. So that self-belief and that winning attitude is very, very important in order to do anything. And just looking at that, I was very fascinated. uh, some of the other things is like he's such a good team player. Again, at first he might have started as a one-man show, but over time he brought in all the team together and created like one of the best teams in the history of basketball. And that goes on to shows how important teamwork itself is, and how a good leader bring in people together, and when they do, they create history like the Chicago Bulls did, by winning 6 different championships. And also one of the attractive attitude or mindset I observed was that he took a stand. Like to give you a short history, the management want to get rid of the head coach at the time, and he took a stand for the coach, and he said if the coach is being fired, then he will quit too. And I don't know. I believe he did that. but I haven't got to that part yet in the documentary. But that goes on to shows that when you take a stand for what you believe, even when you are at the peak of your career, and even if you're willing to lose everything you have built, but you still will take a stand for what you believe, that itself shows you how truly legend he was, or he is, in fact. And there were some time periods where he started playing back in 1985, 86, and then it took a while for the team to win. And during those times, to win the championship rather, and during those times, he brought back all the team together and recalibrated everything so that they can come up with new strategy, with new energy. And in fact, there was this one episode where they were focusing on how during an entire summer they were pushing boundaries by practicing longer, so that when they go back into the season, they go as an improved version of themselves. And that's what I feel this current downtime should do to all of us. Instead of stressing out, instead of killing our time watching random entertainment, I get it. You need to kind of mix it up. Sometimes you gotta watch something to ease up your mind as well, like I'm doing with this documentary. But the bigger point is, during this downtime, you get a chance to up your game by preparing for what's coming. Because once this crisis is, once we get out of this crisis, then we would need all the energy, all the innovation, or in rather like the best version of you out there. So this is the perfect time to kind of take a short break and recalibrate and figure out what you want, not what somebody else think you want, not what somebody else think you need, what you want. And that's itself is a very complicated process, because in that sense you have to kind of look within you to actually see what is your truth. What exactly do you want, regardless of what the world says? And once you find that, you can see the change within yourself. And that's what I feel with all these legends like Michael Jordan, and even in the world of cricket, Sachin Tendulkar. While growing up, they knew exactly what they want, and they have this love for the game, and more than love, in fact, love for sure, and on top of that, respect for the game. And that's one of the most important part of figuring out like what you exactly want, because it's not just about love, it's also about respect. When you respect the art, when you respect the craft, when you respect the process, regardless of the outcome, you will start enjoying the process. And that's the best part of progressing altogether in life. And that's what I'm fascinated just looking at this documentary and just seeing the transition of this rookie, of this, just a college graduate who is good at basketball. He is good. There is no doubt about it. But once he got to the pro level, how he upped his game, how he did not let all the other distraction pull him away from the game, because that was the respect and love he had for the game. So that's what it takes to become a legend. And I would say, like, definitely give it a watch and see what you can experience throughout the entire show, because to me, this is one of the best documentaries out there. There are quite a few other good documentaries as well, but this is one of them. And now looking back at it, now I kind of feel that I missed out on some of the good basketball games, and also watching some of the good players, and not just basketball per se, but also baseball and football and cricket and soccer and hockey and you name it. There are so many different sports out there. I feel that it will take me a while, but I'm going to explore a lot of these games, depending on where I end up being, and see what it takes to go from an amateur to a professional. And likewise in my personal life too, I want to get from where I am to the place where I envision my life to be. And I understand it will be a gradual step, and I have to put in the work every single day and be totally committed to whatever I'm doing. And on top of that, have love and respect.
Thanks for listening. I hope you find our one-sided conversation valuable. Kindly share it with people in your life. I would love to hear back from you. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Vineet Loya. Also check out my website vineetloya.com. Enjoy rest of your day and stay peaceful.